come up with a topic to talk about for a while, and one of them involved a case of mistaken identity on my end. I was accused of art theft back, I believe, 2011. The person who accused me, who, well, if I actually... Okay, the guy's name was Richard Chief, so we can all just kind of get this out in the air. I'm sure that his life has changed. He probably hasn't done this stuff anymore. He probably has cleaned up... Oh, who am I kidding? He probably hasn't even cleaned up anything. The guy was a freaking jerk. Anyway, decisive to say, he had accused me of stealing my own artwork, which, by the way, never happened. A couple of my art pieces that I had done, absolutely never got stolen. I never stole that art pieces because they were mine. They were pieces I worked on. And some of them were on different various art sites. Oh lord, what do I have to tell you? Okay, a couple of my art pieces were on Ink Bunny. And, yes, I regret ever being on Ink Bunny. I was friends with a couple of, furries that asked me to do some art pieces, and I did them. They weren't, like, massively bad art pieces. They were just art pieces in general that were, They weren't cub art, they weren't really anything, they were just to see how well I could draw. One of my art pieces ended up being on the cover of my book. But, at least the gentleman who accused me is no longer a threat, so I can talk about this, now, without feeling embarrassed. More like I kind of go, ha ha, that's funny, that happened to me. But, the person who did the thief, who did manage to steal some of my artwork, I don't really have much pity for them, because some of my friends absolutely, they kinda deserved what they got. They kinda did get in trouble. I mean, two of the people in this were a couple people I knew as friends. One of them was a person by the name of actually I don't think his name is relevant anymore, so I don't have to talk about it. He was a artist who quite frankly pissed the hell off of everybody. And when I told one of my friends what happened, he, ultimately he sided with me because, I didn't do anything wrong. I was, again, this was a piece of artwork that I no longer worked on, I no longer had any feeling toward, and I didn't need to talk about it. I absolutely did not feel like I needed to justify myself. And it wasn't as if somebody didn't just tell me, hey, by the way, you remember such and such a yeah, I remember him. And I also know that his half-brother absolutely deserted him. And it was kind of sad. I felt bad, but I didn't feel bad. It was those things where you just sit there and you don't really feel bad for the said individual. You sort of feel bad for the fact that this person, did what he did, and it affected somebody else who's an artist. And my little sister, when she was alive, she actually asked this jerk what the hell was his issue. And of course, the person who did this, honestly, wrecked it for me because I am not I'm not an art person in general. I am a person who prefers playing video games. As you can see, I do art, but most times people just don't like people like me who go out of their way and play the game of I'm going to draw something and enjoy my life. One of my ex-friends, gosh, I don't know what to call him anymore. It has been so long since I've had to deal with him. He treated me like I did everything wrong for him, and one of those things was one of the things that had happened, and it is one of those things that I still to this day have no clue what the frick this person was thinking, and whether or not he was thinking at all. You know what? I'm gonna do my Dark Knight for this one. And I am going to... But when... In general, I don't really think ill of the person who did this to me and screwed my friends up over it. I don't really get angry because they were jerks. That was their whole prerogative of living through high school. And this person affected me mostly through my college years. She's probably deserved what he got, and I don't really have much sympathy for him. And any which way I see it, if he is upset that I don't have sympathy, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you shouldn't lie about a girl who is not your girlfriend. And keep up practicing on this. If I sound like I have a bit of a cold, I actually have allergies, so every time somebody gets mad at me, the last couple of years, I have had to deal with allergies, stupid people trying to tell me that my allergies are not the problem, I am, blah blah blah. Oh, damn it. I will tell you, my college years was, I could tell you that, when it came to art theft, it didn't really affect me, and yet it affected me. My mom has said that, growing up, I was so used to people actually stealing my artwork, because that's exactly what people used to do to me. They would steal my artwork and then say, oh, you didn't do this. Yeah, I did. And I remember my mom telling a girl, it wasn't nice to steal my dragon art. My friend Gwen. Called it out for what it was. I had a bunch of artwork that I had worked on, and this girl in my 7th grade class went up when my back was turned and took the piece from me. It was an integrated class. There wasn't really an art class in there. but a bunch of the people knew I could draw, and since I could draw, a couple of the boys in the class had found out that during the summer I would buy or go to the library and sign up for the summer reading program. And one of the summer reading programs involved books, like getting free books. My grandmother, my dad, and myself would get the free books. And the free books would be handed out, and one of them was on how to draw. I studied that book until it fell apart. My dad said it was in like 2 pieces, and we had to throw it away because it was also water damaged because of the move. My mom had to basically buy me a new book. And my mother, on most occasions, said it was pretty bad. It was in horrible shape. And my grandmother bought me a new book. She said it was not bad, but oh my god. That was a pretty funny thing to have happen to you as a kid, and your parents are telling you, oh yeah, I remember that. You had how to draw a book and some boy in your... I'm like, Mom, I don't remember that at all. But she does. She says it was pretty bad. Somebody in my class pretty much stole a piece of artwork that I had been drawing for the last unicorn, and my mom was not a happy person. This was a lady who kinda, if you say something bad about her daughter, my mom did say that. And honestly, my mother in that instance was probably one of my biggest defenders on my art. My sister was my second defender, and if you were to talk to my little sister and she was still alive, her first comment would be to, if you ever bring up the fact that my sister did all that, and she tolerated a lot of the drama of me and my sister growing up, and my sister to this day, before she passed, told me that many people, gosh, what was it I was supposed to, oh, starboard hull component, no. I know there's something I can get rid of. And literally, there's nothing I could get rid of, damn it. Oh well. So, Yeah, my sister and me had quite a experience dealing with people who, quite frankly, were not the nicest people in the galaxy. I wouldn't say one of my friends was actually one of my biggest. Danielle was solely for my book, and of course consisted of my own work. She called it lazy or unproductive. I forget all the different terminology she used against me on it. Library. She wanted me to bury it, even though it took months and years to work on. It took me 2 years to get that piece the way I wanted it. And of course, you have the comments that she would make about it. That it was unproductive, it didn't... I mean, I was just like, okay, what do you mean it's unproductive? I've been working on this piece for nearly... Sorry. For nearly as long as I could. My sister even said, when she had heard what Danielle had said, she called it utter... my sister was not one for mincing her words. I mean, I had never heard my sister cuss before, like... yeah, I've heard her cuss, but I never heard her cuss like this. She called, my former friend Danielle, she called her a jerk. Not putting it bluntly, a freaking jerk. My little sister was very much for my book. My sister was very much for a lot of my stuff. I just think that the story goes, one of the things that Danielle had tried to steal was a piece of artwork that, quite frankly, I'm kind of glad she didn't get a chance to. The next piece that I worked on, which was actually a fake cover, it was a fake cover piece for, what was it? For a digital art class I was in. Now, the piece was not digital, because at the time it was a commercial art class, is what it was called. We were supposed to be using digital art, and unfortunately, the poor teacher, who I will lovingly call Miss Bright, found out that the funding could not get us tablets. I mean, if the woman had it her way, we'd probably have art tablets, but we couldn't afford that. So she told me, we'll do what we can. So it turned into the masterpiece of me attempting to do art for art's sake. This woman was pretty upset. The art teacher did, apologize for it, but she felt bad that, my work was, lambasted horribly. The other person involved was a girl. I don't really have much to say about this individual, other than I really didn't like her. There was a girl in my class, she kind of pissed everybody off, and when she pissed everybody off, she absolutely, did it in such a manner that, oh my god, I had never thought it was possible. My art teacher was not happy with this girl in the least. I later found out she had lied to me. She found out I was a fan of a band called Vice Cruise, which was a boy band in Japan that actually was pretty damn good. And she said that she knew them. Well, no, she didn't. Shinichi lives in the United States, who's one of the friends, and he suffers from depression. He has a lot of issues, and one of those big issues is going out in large crowds. He used to do it when he was in a band, but he can't anymore, and I knew this because he blogged about it. He speaks both English and Japanese. He blogged about his anxiety and about a lot of the stuff that he suffered from. His friends knew that he was going to be in the United States. And of course, my ex-friend just sort of pissed everybody off about it. She was just depressed that he couldn't, I knew about it, and I told one of my art friends I really didn't appreciate her lying to me, but again, the only reason I knew anything about the art pieces and about everything is because I was friends with these people. And of course, a lot of people think, oh my gosh, you're friends with so-and-so, blah 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 blah. I'm like, you don't know the half of it. You don't know anything about this person. You don't know how this works. You don't know how any of that works. And honestly, it irks the hell out of me because you act like I'm supposed to be your friend and you're not acting like one, so blah. And that was the only time I've ever had a friend who was in my art class that was a total dip. Now, my digital art class in college was not, these were people who are not in this professionally, and here is a fun fact about that. The people that you associate with in this class were only there because it was part of the graduating thesis if you were an art class student. I was lucky I got accepted in because, one, I needed an art credit, and two, that was it. That was all I needed to graduate. And my art teacher positively gushed about the fact I was a manga artist and not a freaking art student. I am not kidding. This was absolutely my art teacher did not exactly hate the fact that I did it, but she also hated the fact that people turned around and used me to work on shit that they should have done themselves. I had to put up with that in junior high, which, by the way, if you've ever gone through junior high, and I didn't have an art class in my junior high, I had art appreciation with an art teacher that didn't know jack shit about artwork. I mean, I was not in a class where kids were absolutely like the coolest people in the bonkers world. These were people who believed being an artist meant being in a freaking class of your own. I mean, I was not equipped for some of the drama that some of these kids absolutely dragged everybody into. There was a boy in one of my classes that I could swear he probably should not have been in the class, but unfortunately, because of the way he was taught, I had to tolerate him. He also tried to steal my glasses, and he said it was a joke. He could have broke them. And he knew that. He knew he could have broke my glasses, but he didn't care. Because he was, and still is, a freaking rich kid who could probably get away with murder and nobody would notice. Or they would blame the victim. Which, by the way, yes, he victim shamed me a lot. And that pissed off my mom. This kid pissed my mom off so much, she absolutely wanted to actually take me out of school for a year because of it. And hey, nobody pisses off my mom without due course. And I mean, my mom yelled at my art teacher that she yelled at one of my teachers that this was a freaking travesty, that I had no business being in the class if this kid was there. And trust me, I went through hell dealing with this person. The next person that I dealt with was a boy in my class who, I think he did not understand that I didn't like him, but again, that doesn't really pertain a lot to the art crap that I usually do. And the reason I play video games is to get out of this funk that I've been in for years for drawing. I mean, the first thing I drew back when I was in high school, my art teacher actually just did not want me to actually show it off, because it wasn't that he did not like my artwork. He understood my artwork. He did not like how people treated my artwork. This is a guy who treated me like I was one of his best students. FYI, I felt horrible for the way he got treated by my school. And this is when he came out as gay. He always talked about his wife, which, by the way, was code word for his husband. FYI, the guy was gay. I am not lying to you, he was gay. He came out of the closet and got fired. My art teacher, who was gay, got fired because, holy freaking shit, people, he's gay. Whoop-dee-doo. Why did you do that? He was not doing anything to any student. He wasn't trying to have sex with anybody. And you are telling me he is gay. Because he's gay, he's going to hurt a bunch of kids. I don't think that works, but you know what? Right. My art teacher literally told me to run he literally told my entire school, he told me in a Facebook post that he never regretted coming out of the broom closet, as it were. But he did say he regretted never telling a student that sad about it because he's a really good teacher. He didn't deserve what he got. And I literally wanted to support him in any of his endeavors because honestly, I really did not think it was fair to him. Nor did I think it was fair to any other person in my school to judge him based on the fact that at the time, again, this was the 1990s. So being gay gets you in a lot of trouble in that time period. So yeah. After that whole incident in high school, I kinda lost faith in the teachers that I absolutely loved and appreciated because I actually knew what the cost is if you're gay to get out of being accused of something you're not. Yeah. But after a while, when I got to college, I met a whole new brand of idiots. One of which was an artist slash teacher kid that I knew back in college. I'm just gonna mention that the reason I'm gonna call this person an idiot is because he literally stole other people's art and tried to pass it off as his own, even though his drawing style and someone else's is completely different. So when he attempted to do that to me, he actually had to reproduce one of the pieces that I had been working on, and honestly, he failed quite admirably. One of the pieces was, again, my sister did something stupid and showed off a piece of my artwork and passed it off as something I did, when clearly, you're nope. My mother will definitely attest to this. If you're asking why I'm using Dark Knight, I'm just trying to level it so that I can use it for something else. To my healer because it's a little more it's gonna work better for what I need, and I can actually sneak in, sneak out. So yeah, I've never really understood the whole concept of stealing people's art just for the sake of stealing it. Again, I was a college student that never really understood why a guy would want to steal any of my artwork, because I never really thought myself that good. And my mom always just sort of played it off as modesty. Would show off some of my art, including an old clay mask I made that was modeled after a Swahili mask that I saw at a Swahili mask I saw at a museum. I literally... I'm not gonna stop this one. But yeah, my mom said that was actually one of the reasons I stopped drawing for a really long time, because she said that actually that was the biggest reason I stopped drawing. She literally said that. She said that the biggest reason I stopped drawing is because I got so tired of people criticizing what I drew and how I drew it. My grandmother even said that is one of the reasons she wanted to sign me up for art classes as a kid. I was into art classes, and yet, as an art student as a kid, I was not really able to do art classes the way I wanted to. But the final straw for me, I had submitted some artwork for the art room at an anime convention. And I got made fun of. I mean, I literally got made fun of. And the girl who did the making fun of, was supposed to be my friend. And she said, she was being constructive criticism. Constructive. That does not constitute tearing down your friends. One of my friends says she was excessively jealous. She did not like the fact I could draw better than her. She did not like the fact I could do all these things that she could not do. I was frickin' pissed. My mother, in this whole shebang, and I mean shebang, was not happy. My mom said that she had never heard me cuss before until that day. And this is a woman who sat through me yelling obscenities at, but yeah. When I got the art pieces back, the girl who made the comment was supposed to be my friend. The girl who defended me was a girl in the art room who I met briefly, who called me to tell me that, the person who wanted one of my art pieces was a girl that I did not know. But again, I was sort of lambasted by this girl because she felt I owed her something. Now, the person in question, I don't remember her name. The other girl was named Chris, and Chris was the one who defended me, and I will be forever thankful for Chris. Chris is a freaking doll. I will be telling people about her in just a minute. Chris is a doll. I love her. The day I got to meet one of my friends, one of my friends told me that when I got lambasted by this friend, it pissed me off to the point that I really never wanted to touch an art piece again. And my mom said she never blamed me for it. The only person that blamed me was a person I don't talk to anymore, so that doesn't really matter. The other person in general, I don't think she actually was my friend, so I don't really know. But she never treated me like crap, although I will mention that people in community I'm in for anime are very popularity oriented. Unless you are popular, you do not want to be seen associating with people who are not. And I'm one of those unpopular people, so I just kind of go whatever. I never understood it, never will. But when it comes to art, for some goddamn reason, the person that did this to me never really said much of anything. I might as well do high quality. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, that was my experience. But the only issue I ever had in my community of anime nerds when it came to art theft is many people in the art community will not and shall not defend a person who steals. But unfortunately, unless you are popular, you are not going to get anywhere in the anime fandom that I've known. And mostly popularity talks. And that is the biggest issue I've always had in the anime community, is popularity talks loudly. I once told my mother I don't want to be popular because I just don't feel the necessity to go around treating others like crap. And that is because my mother taught me better. Then again, my mother also taught me that people who are popularity hounds generally don't care if you can escape the whole thing. They prefer just telling you, oh, you're not part of our crowd, so you don't really get a say in the matter of who your friends are. By the way, I know them. 90% of them are a bunch of popularity hounds on their own, and half of them don't care if they end up hurting somebody in the end. Because, oh my lord and lady, I don't know where they get the idea that people who are popular are absolutely the nicest people in the universe. They're not. I have met them, I've been through that. It is like the biggest... Great. I can't see in the dark, so I can't really tell you where I'm going. Oh. But yeah, when I turned 21, I learned one of the biggest lessons in the furry fandom. And one of them is that one of my friends, is an idiot. I have had little to zero respect for him since he, fucked over a friend of mine. So, when he commissioned me for an art piece, I kind of laughed and said no. And of course, let me tell you, that was fun. But it didn't really end well when it came to making friends for me, because the people that I talked to, they didn't like the fact that I wasn't popular. I wasn't part of the in crowd. So when I did my art, they expected me to give my art for free. Oh, FYI, I don't give free art. And if I did, guess what? You'd still have to pay for it, and you still have to pay for it because guess what? I have to pay for the art supplies. I have to pay for all that. So, yeah, don't try that. Don't try that on me, buddy. Because, honestly... I'm not sure how that adds up sometimes, but it happens a lot. But yeah, that was never my intention to get in trouble with my fandom. But after dealing with art thieves, being dealt with the fact that I didn't like certain people treating me like crap, I just sort of wanted out of the fandom as much as humanly possible because I didn't really feel like I belonged there. And honestly, I didn't like Naruto, I didn't like Lee, I didn't like all the popular stuff. I liked it. And I still do. If you ever hear my review of Detective Conan or Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, you'll understand my entire. But also, I have what's called high social anxiety. I am highly social and introverted at the same time, but I am also suffer from incapacitation of fear that I am going to get rejected for no damn reason. Because thank you for making learning disability have that issue. I'm actually trying to collect as many as I can before the time runs out. So. But yeah, that was an experience. Well, when it comes to art theft, I have had many different times where people have suspected me of tracing, which, by the way, the only reason I would trace is if I am working on a piece and I'm trying to be as, well, I'm trying to use references. I never trace if I can help it. But if I need a reference, I will find something, and then use the reference sheet, and then, after that, I will throw the trace away, or give credit, but you most often credit. But my mother has said that I have been doing traces like that for years, but the thing is that tracing generally is for the purpose of, again, not to be used for something else. I don't use it for, as my own piece. No, that is not exactly what it's for. It is for the use of my work in a department. It is not used for that purpose. To get proportions correct, I am not going to use I will not lie to you. Yes, I've traced, but I've never used it for anything but the art piece that I'm supposed to be using it for. Anyone who can use it for that can go and tell me to hurt myself or whatever, because in honesty, I never stole pieces of art. Although I've been accused of that. I mean, she did accuse me of stealing artwork of my own, and telling me I am a piece of crap, that I should have been killing myself. But yeah, that was an experience I don't want to go through. I've told people that being I have been in art shows where people have stolen artwork from other people and have passed it off as their own. FYI, they end up getting caught anyway. One of my friends told me one of my art pieces he could have sworn was sketched or was kind of sketchy, but unfortunately I also told him that yes, it was traced, but it was traced for something else. So whatever someone says about me using traced art, I will tell you most of it's unintentional, some of it's used for whatever reason, but I've never actually been accused of stealing other people's artwork, because guess what? I have had that happen. Someone has stolen my art. I am not that good. I honestly don't understand why anyone would want to steal pieces of artwork and say, pass it off as mine, or say, oh, that's, yeah, that's Nagi's. Well, let me put it this way. The person who stole my artwork when I was in college, guess what? He did get caught. He did get in trouble. He did get expelled. But it didn't subtract the fact that it happened at all. I remember just saying to my mom, people do shit that are stupid, and they will end up getting called out on it. Unfortunately, and I will say this in the most unsympathetic way I can, the person that stole my artwork and passed it off as his own, yes, he did get caught, yes, he did get in trouble, but it turned into a thing of he said, she said, and I was basically told I need to forgive and forget. But the problem is, it was my own artwork. It was my own pieces that he stole. He turned on it and told me that I was overreacting and that I was somehow in the wrong, that I did it for attention and I was a bad person, blah 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 blah. I mean, literally the guy told one of my friends that it is his word against mine, and because he has a popularity clout, my say is worth probably less than his. And that in itself garners a lot of resentment to me. Because, yeah. That garners a lot of resentment because here I am doing my own art, and here I am getting told, well, because he's popular, he gets more say than you, and that's just the way cookie crumble. I mean, it was just the biggest hoax in my entire life. I mean, what? I worked my ass off for one of my pieces, and to be told, oh, by the way, you don't get a say in the matter because he's popular? I'm sorry, I don't understand this. And you're telling me because he's popular, my say is valued twice less than, say, being a good artist? Screw you? Screw you a lot? I mean, I literally sat there realizing my say is probably worth about less than a bag of bones. And here I am trying to not scream at these people. Being told, oh, your say doesn't matter because he's popular, you're not. That was in itself the point where I went completely... I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't, for the longest time, I couldn't actually function because people were telling me that he didn't, that my say, my ability, synthesize tool components. I'm still flabbergasted that one of my friends did not, like, take a frickin' tool to that person and tell them to frickin' drop the entire act. My mom probably would have agreed with my friend on this one and say that going to this convention is just not worth it, and I should just forget it. And I wanted to tell my mom, yeah, I wanted to forget it. I want to just not go to these conventions anymore because, you know what? They're gonna just treat me like crap anyway. I'm not going. Well, that's not exactly what happened. And that in itself was the biggest zoo I had ever gone through. If you've ever gone to a convention and have met some of the most awful, egocentric, self-absorbed individuals you've ever met, yeah, go to my conventions. I don't think Nandasacon is anywhere near that bad. Actually, they're not. The people who run that convention actually are pretty damn nice. It's the people who attend it that are like, oh my god, I cannot believe these people. I literally cannot believe some of these people. There was a time where I would have just turned around and said, that's it, I'm done. I have finished. I am done with you people. You can go screw off. You can turn into bags of dirt for all I care. Because after a while, I just sort of felt like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to deal with this drama anymore. Kinda sorta, I wish you were dead kinda way I felt about people. And there were some people at the conventions I really couldn't care less to talk to. And some of them were like really good artists that I knew, that I really respected. And they got treated much worse, and some people actually literally were treated like, oh my god, you're like the greatest artist in the world. That's great. Can you give them some respect? Oh, well, no, seriously, will you give my friends some respect here? I had one artist friend who, I have not talked to in years, and, I commissioned her for a piece of art. I paid her $25 for it, which was the commission agreement. I gave her $15 to begin with, and the 20, it turned out to be like $35 because I gave her an extra 10 on top of that, because the piece was like freaking awesome. And it was a Rip Van Winkle from Helsing, and I absolutely loved it. I asked her to do one thing, and she's like, what's that? Remove the swastika, please? Which she replaced with something else that looked way better, and I absolutely loved the piece. And of course, someone asked why I asked for that to be removed, and of course I got told that what I did was wrong. And of course, I somehow did the wrong thing. And of course, I got told, what the hell is wrong with you? That's supposed to be part of her aesthetics. And I said, well, I'm sorry, I live with people whose families went through, the concentration camps, and she totally respects my, point of view, and she asked if it would be okay to remove it, and I said I wanted it removed anyway, because, yeah. And many people in my group of friends actually agreed with me, and we went with that. And I had not talked to this girl about what I had asked for months, because I did not want her to feel like, holy shit, we have to do this, blah blah. I mean, one of the biggest issues I had was when a friend of hers, I will not name names, this friend is a total jerk and totally should never be her friend because of what he did. And it is sort of like a kick to the teeth because of what he said, and he said that he apologized for, but he never did apologize. By the way, what he had done is he had told a bunch of girls a bunch of stuff that actually was not even remotely true. He lied on multiple times to 2 girls, and he was 2-timing another girl at the same time. So yeah, that's a personal issue that I don't want to get into, but yeah, he did that. And he expected my friend to actually do something that even to this day I don't even agree with. And he wanted her to cheat on her boyfriend with him, and she didn't do it, thank God. But she was an artist, she wanted to be accepted, and the people that accepted her, that she wanted to be accepted by, I really didn't like, because they were just like these awful, awful people. Oh my God, I told her one day, that she really should not be friends with people who think that she should do this type of stuff. And of course she got mad at me, but in the long run, she said that what I said made sense at the time. Because, yeah, he literally wanted her to cheat on her boyfriend. And, she didn't do it, thankfully, but the guy got mad at me. But, again, it was none of my business, but I got into that business because she was my friend, and she asked my opinion. And I didn't like the guy either, so I didn't really see much point in her cheating. Because, the guy she was with was like, woohoo, kinda cool. I absolutely loved him. He was like super nice to everybody and super cool, and he didn't really deserve what happened afterward. And I said to one of my friends, it's like, you know, it's bad when you have to tell your friends that you don't want them to cheat on somebody simply because you just don't want them to feel like, holy shit, they're gonna feel like shit afterward. Because I literally have had that. Give them 200 of my stuff back. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of incriminating, isn't it? I am giving them crystals, and because I just borrowed crystals. Yeah, you can judge me later. I'm trying to build something so I can get actual money, and then donate half of it to a bunch of people in my frickin' FC for whatever reason. Oh, shoot. I was supposed to be running. Okay. Alright. The interesting part of the fact my FC has never yelled at me about doing this, I always end up putting stuff back for them, so honestly, when you actually think about it, I am not really doing anything wrong. I usually give back to my community anyway, so there. Oh great, I'm out of this roll again. Fun. Which means I go to my chocobo, see if there's this roll in here. That's mithrite. That's cobalt. That's a black pearl. There's stuff to sell. But yes, I have had experience with a lot of people in my community of nerds that probably are not like the nicest people. I have told friends that I do not feel comfortable dealing with certain people, one of which is a girl that, quite frankly, she stole a lot of money from another person, and the person she stole from was actually a really, really good friend of mine, and I have never forgiven her for that, because that is a no-no to me, and I honestly do not like people who steal from other friends, simply just so they can get ahead. So, yeah, that is my entire stories of everything that I have had happen with art theft and people in general who are not exactly the nicest, and oftentimes are the ones that just you should not trust with a 10-foot pole. I do not understand why people will trust a person who will backstab them and then turn around and go, "Oh, hi, I'm your friend." Yeah, I had that with a girl who wanted to declaw my cat, and I literally threw her to the wolves. And I mean that in the most friendliest term necessary. Danielle, if you're watching this, yes, I know you know what you did, and you know you were wrong, and you still say I'm in the wrong. Good luck with that. And you're still telling people I am a hoarder and all that bullshit, and yeah, you are definitely not a good friend, because you use people, and then when it becomes necessary, you throw them out the window, and then you go, "Oh, poor me. No, dear, you definitely need to go see, you need to look in a mirror and realize how much of a sour person you really, really are. Because when you hurt your friends will find out. And they will call you out, they will tell you you're wrong, and you'll hate life. So, have a nice night, everybody, and stay safe.